Questions for reflection. Our first reading for today's Holy Mass selected passages from the third chapter of the Old Testament book of Job. This book in the Hebrew Scriptures is rich with insights about real life. It's profound, disturbing, and yet incredibly helpful precisely because it reveals something of importance about our lives. Things are not always the way they seem or feel. Living by faith sometimes means passing through seasons of stripping, struggle, barrenness, and even apparent abandonment. At the beginning of this book, we find the mystery of living by faith, developing an authentic spirituality. After his own wife told him to curse God and die, Job spoke these words of caution and then wisdom to her. Are even you going to speak as senseless women do? We accept good things from God, and should we not accept evil? That's Job 2:10. Later, in the midst of his discourse with three friends, he added the following acclamation, which gets to the heart of the mettle of this man named Job. Even if he slay me, I will hope in him. That's Job 13:15. How do we approach times of difficulty when it seems like even the Lord does not hear us or is far away? Notice Job does not stop speaking with the Lord. He even voices his pain. And even more importantly, read the whole book. The Lord does not abandon him. In fact, the Lord is allowing all that happens to Job and will turn it all to good. And so it will be with us if we approach it all in faith. The words of our psalm response today underscore this same kind of experience, only this time in the honest prayer of the prophet and psalmist David. Notice the words of David. Notice his honesty in his dialogue, his conversation with God. He keeps praying even in difficulty. How do we act in times of travail? Do we allow ourselves to think that the Lord has abandoned us? David keeps crying out to the Lord. What do we do in times of trouble? Do we stop praying? Do we blame God? Do we listen to the lies of the devil? Let us learn from David to persevere in prayer and in faith. God never abandons us. In the gospel appointed for today, the disciples act improperly in a difficult moment, and Jesus instructs them. Jesus is traveling to Jerusalem. He has told them that he will be delivered to death. They're upset. They don't understand. Jesus seeks to enter a Samaritan village, but the people of the village will not let him enter and pass through because he's on his way to Jerusalem, and the Jews and Samaritans were at odds with each other. Jesus does not even speak ill of the Samaritans. Rather, Jesus just simply moves on. His disciples, however, seek to call down fire from heaven. How do we respond when people oppose us for being disciples of Jesus?